Hello, today's video we have the following content.
Xiao Zhan's The Legend of the Condor Heroes box office exceeded 1 billion, and Sung Guangliang's second viewing of the film attracted heated discussions. Actor Sung Guangliang supported Xiao Zhan's starring movie The Legend of the Condor Heroes, saying that it won the box office champion of martial arts films. The film's box office exceeded 1 billion, which is controversial. Film critics believe that the success is due to the quality of the film and the acting skills of the actors. The audience should judge the quality of the film rationally, and the reasons for the success of the film are complicated. Things in the entertainment industry are true and false, false and true, sometimes like seeing flowers in the fog, making people confused. Look, actor Sung Guangliang recently supported Xiao Zhan's movie The Legend of the Condor Heroes and said that the movie won the box office champion of martial arts films. How is the box office of this movie and whether it is worth watching? Let's talk about it today. Recently, actor Sung Guangliang posted a message to support Xiao Zhan's starring movie The Legend of the Condor Heroes, saying that the film won the box office champion of martial arts films, and he has also watched it twice to support it. He also wished Xiao Zhan a prosperous career and smooth sailing in the new year. As soon as the news came out, fans sent their blessings to Xiao Zhan and the crew in the comment area, and expressed their gratitude to Sung Guangliang for his second brush support. Did the movie box office really reach the level of the box office champion of martial arts films as Sung Guangliang said? At present, the box office of the film has exceeded 1 billion, which is indeed a very good result in martial arts films. But if it is compared with other types of films such as Nezhe, The Devil Boy Conquers the Dragon King and Detective Chinatown 3, there is still a certain gap. So, is this movie worth watching? Some people question why a remake of a classic martial arts film can achieve such a high box office. Among them, the appeal of the leading actor Xiao Zhan is undoubtedly a major factor. Xiao Zhan has accumulated a large number of fans with his outstanding performance in the field of TV dramas, and these fans have also become an important support for the box office of the movie. In addition, the publicity and promotion of the film has also been done quite well, successfully attracting the attention of many viewers. On the other hand, some people have questioned the quality of the film. It is believed that the plot of the film has been changed compared with the original, and some of the shaping is also controversial. In addition, some people think that the special effects are not sophisticated enough, and there is still a gap compared with some big-budget films. So, is it the fan effect that pushed up the box office, or is it the quality of the film itself? Some film critics believe that while retaining the essence of the original work, the film has also made some innovative adaptations to make the story more in line with the aesthetics of modern audiences. At the same time, the performances of actors such as Xiao Zhan also add a lot of color to the film. They believe that the success of the film does not rely entirely on the fan effect, but on the combined effect of the quality of the film itself and the acting skills of the actors. Was the actor Sung Guangliang's behavior out of his true love for the film, or was it for the sake of hype? In the entertainment industry, a place of fame and fortune, similar incidents are common. As ordinary audiences, we should remain rational and not be swayed by various voices. The quality of a movie ultimately depends on the audience themselves. This year's Spring Festival is coming to an end, and the fierce battle in the film industry is over. Movies used to be art, combining light and shadow, supplemented by sound and color, and then the screen slowly unfolds, telling stories, and concretizing one after another bizarre or delicate dreams. Now, movies are gambles, losers cry bitterly, some kneel in public, some cry bitterly, and some beg humbly, with postures uglier than one. This year, Nezhe is all in, and the four blockbusters of Tang Detective, Fengshen, The Legend of the Condor Heroes, and Guangliang all failed to meet expectations. For me personally, because I am a senior fan of Guangliang's martial arts, Tsui Hark is my favorite director, and The Legend of the Condor Heroes is my most anticipated movie. I feel very regretful and unwilling to get such a result, but after seeing the mental outlook of the roadshow creators and the various interviews of the creators of The Legend of the Condor Heroes, I feel relieved. After all, it has been filmed and existed, and regret is also an art. It is not the refreshing feeling that explodes on the tip of the tongue in an instant, but the aftertaste after repeated tasting. As for the regrets caused by the deletions, it can only be said that it is already great that The Legend of the Condor Heroes can be brought up. For example, the heroes of Guangliang in last year's film were directly buried. In short, this wave narrowly won. Why is it a pity? Because from the comparison of the filing of the National Film Administration in 2023 and the introduction after the release of the film in 2025, it can be seen that the score has obviously made adjustments to the plot. When the filming of The Legend of the Condor Heroes coincided with the introduction of a new review system, the director had to cut off the line of the Western expedition and reconstruct the story. Otherwise, after deciphering the Wu Mu Testament, Guangliang should wear a blood cloak and go west to attack the Jin dynasty. When Guangliang rode his horse back to the Fengshao camp, the whole army shouted his name. That was the prestige he fought for with blood. Guangliang was originally a young general valued by the Khan and had a bright future. It was during the Western expedition that he witnessed the cruelty of war, the suffering of the people, and the suffering of all living beings under the war, and then he realized that he had to oppose war. Give up the wealth and glory given by the Khan and return to the Central Plains to protect the people. The Western expedition is the key to his transformation, his growth, and the core of the film. The war scenes in The Legend of the Condor Heroes are the highlight. Guangliang and Wang Rong's growth on the battlefield and the display of their patriotism are inseparable from these plots. The protagonist's highlight moments are also highlighted in the war. Those heroic bows and eagles, those passionate blood defending the country, those were erased with the deletions, which makes people feel sad. I sigh again that The Legend of the Condor Heroes is unlucky. I feel sorry for Tsui Hark for the movie The Legend of the Condor Heroes. At the age of more than 70, he spent so much effort and sincerity to make a good movie. However, the deletion of the Western expedition caused the main line to be weak, which was beyond human control. Because of force majeure, the important scenes were deleted and the plot was stitched together, but it was ridiculed as Lian Po is old. All the complaints about the plot are in the deleted parts. All the real kung fu martial arts and war scenes that you want to see are also there, but now you can only imagine them through a small section presented in various tidbits and a small Easter egg. The Western expedition took a lot of effort and resources to visualize Wu Mu's war, and the essence of action scenes. This whole section was taken away for review, and a large number of plots had to be dubbed later. In addition, some memories and inserts of the previous section introduced the previous situation, which made it even more fragmented. It's not the director, the screenwriter, or anything that was not done well, it's just a pity. This kind of deletion that had to be done is really a pity, but Tsui Hark is still Tsui Hark. When there was no Western expedition line, he restructured this story with the love of a daughter in troubled times as the main line. In Tsui Hark's Light and Shadow, we see yellow clouds connecting the sky and tents for thousands of miles. We hear the drums and horns echoing and the horses galloping. If there was no Tsui Hark's horse running towards the sunset, there would be no shot of Xiao Zhan in the end. The sunset falls to the west, and the horse tramples through the afterglow. If there was no cup of Lois outside Yanmen Pass, we would not know what it means to be unswerving, and what it means to continue the father's unfinished work. The first public event of the main creative team of The Legend of the Condor Heroes. Except for Tsui Hark, who was a little serious occasionally, every member was smiling and beaming. They probably didn't know what happened. At that time, everyone said that Xiao Zhan was too haggard, as if he hadn't slept for several days and nights. After being pointed out by everyone, Xiao Zhan quickly adjusted his state in every subsequent roadshow and always smiled in front of the audience. Tsui Hark talked endlessly when he mentioned the concept of the movie. In an interview, he let slip that he mentioned the deleted plot. The main creators looked at him with wide eyes and kept a tacit silence, but they are still full of energy and happily carry out every activity. They don't have sad faces, no sensationalism, and they have experienced many battles, and they have made their way here. It is easy for everyone to have a beautiful posture in good times, and the spring breeze is full of success. But in adversity, maintain an optimistic attitude and decent behavior. It is difficult for anyone to remain silent in the face of misunderstandings. I really like them. Tony Lun Cafe, who is in his 60s and 70s, is particularly active. He messed up his hair and made faces to restore Wu Yangfeng's violence in the movie, making the audience laugh. At the end of the event, he pulled Xiao Zhan, who was about to leave, back to make a heart to the audience. Xiao Zhan lowered his head a little embarrassedly. Of course, he knew that Tony Lun Cafe was deliberately making fun and comforting everyone. The active brother Cafe contributed the most hard-working performance both in and out of the play. It is amazing that the old predecessors are teaching everything they know. As long as there is a world of martial arts, The inheritance will not be broken. After watching the interviews with Dao Wentao, Wenjun, Tsui, Hark and Xiao Zhan about the legend of the Condor Heroes, I feel that Mr. Tsui Hark really loves martial arts and his profession. Seeing the way Xiao Zhan and director Tsui Hark get along, I understand what it's like when a great director meets someone who is compatible with him. It's not the actor's flattery of the great director, nor is it the pretending to be warm and awkward chatting, nor is it the dull and dull obedience. It's the simplest exchange of ideas between literary and artistic creators, which is neither humble nor arrogant, calm and peaceful. 4 people sat around the table, and everyone talked freely, talking about history, culture, philosophy, and feelings, and they had something to say. It was as if the tea smoke in the celadon cup was curling, and the literati and scholars sat around to appreciate it, as if the lantern gathering was reappearing. There are many in-depth contents in it, such as his martial arts out of date. In the depth of his conversation, I understand Tsui Hark's story of telling a story that transcends the era of cold weapons. The desert smoke and the misty rain of Jiangnan interweave, the swords and shadows hide Confucianism and Taoism philosophy, and the chivalrous and tender heart of Guojing and Wangrong, in the slow motion and blank space, turns into a deep gaze on the righteousness of the country. I was deeply impressed by Xiao Zhan's performance in the interview. After watching the special conversation between Xiao Zhan, Tsui Hark, Dao Wentao and Wenjun, I always felt that this man is so handsome and charming, and his wisdom, sincerity and relaxation are particularly touching. In today's highly mature entertainment industry, celebrity interviews often become programmed performances, but Xiao Zhan's interviews always make the audience feel the weight of thought. Facing the media camera, he can calmly dismantle the logic of script creation, and connect the performance perception with the imagery of traditional culture. He can rationally analyze the current situation of the industry, and he can easily pick up poems and allusions to add interest to the expression. I watched Xiao Zhan's interview during work breaks. It turns out that Tsui Hark shows Xiao Zhan. It turns out that the director had asked Xiao Zhan to play Guojing 2 years ago. Good collaborators have a good reputation in the industry.
Thank you for watching the video. If this is your first time watching a video, please subscribe to the channel, like and leave your comments to help us develop your channel.